episode of Sugarfolk Homemade, my podcast where I talk about all the things that I have been crafting. Most of the time that's usually just knitting. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. And if you are a new viewer, which there have been an influx of new viewers lately, which is very exciting. You are very welcome here, and if you don't know me yet, my name is Michaela, and I live in a small town in North Carolina with my husband and our 3 kids and our little kitty, which I'm hoping will actually make an appearance today so I can show you guys her, because she's cute. So, last episode I mentioned that it would be a while before I was able to come back, but I was not expecting my last video to blow up, and I gained a lot of subscribers after that video, and we finally hit 1,000. So I'm back to do a giveaway, and I have some knitting to show, of course. So I figured I might as well just go ahead and make the time and get a giveaway going and just come back on here to say thank you to you guys, because when I first started this, if you go back and you see my very first video, the quality is terrible. My kids are just like running around crazy. You can hear cartoons in the background. I was not very, I didn't put a lot of effort into it because I really did not think that it was gonna get here. So it just really blows my mind. Like, when you look at some people's YouTube channels and they have like millions and, you know, so many thousands of subscribers, that's crazy. But when you're actually the person making the videos, even 1,000 is so big to me. Like, because I just imagine every individual person is a person that is clicking on my video and watching it. And it makes me nervous, first of all, but it makes me so happy. So thank you guys. I am so glad that you're here and that this is becoming more of a thing, if you will, I guess. I'm kind of rambling at this point. Anyways, I hope you've got something to sip on. I've got some tea. This is actually a Kava Tea, which I picked up at the store because it said stress relief. And if you've ever been a mother to young kids / toddlers, you will know exactly where I'm coming from. It's a stressful time over here sometimes, and I could always use a little stress relief. So I picked it up, and it's actually really, really good. And I put some pumpkin spice creamer in it. Yes, I am basic. I love pumpkin spice. It just ups the fall level that much more, and it's very fall-y where I'm at right now, if fall-y is a word. I'm looking out my kitchen window, or kitchen door right now, and it's red, and there's still some green, but there's some bright yellow. It's beautiful. So I hope that wherever you are is beautiful as well. Now the sun's coming out. It was kind of rainy this morning, which is usually kind of gloomy, but in the fall, it's like my favorite thing because it's just cozy and you can sit inside and knit and drink tea. And yeah, anyways, okay, I'm rambling. So I do have a giveaway, and I'm going to talk about that at the end. So if you want to see that, you can skip ahead if you want, or you can just hang out with me for a little bit and we will get there eventually. And side note, I'm going to try my best to not say about 200 times. It's a struggle, but I'm going to try. So bear with me. If you want to count and tell me if I'm improving, go for it. I know it bugs some people. It bugs me too, honestly, when I listen to it and I always hear myself saying and I'm like, stop it, stop doing it. But when you're sitting here talking to a camera, I don't know. Anyways, I digress. Let's jump right in. So, first things first, I'll tell you what I'm wearing, because I think this is the first time I've worn it on here. This is my Jupiter crop by Caitlin Hunter. I knit this, has it been 2 years? Maybe it's been 2 years, I don't know. I feel like the past 2 years have been combined into one big glom of a year for me. And I feel like a lot of people feel that way because of COVID and just, I don't know. Okay, so anyways, this is my Jupiter crop. It was one of my first sweaters. There I go. It was one of my first sweaters, first colorwork sweater ever, and I have some bones to pick with it, but I still wear it. The last time I showed you guys, it was a little bit shorter, and I mean, it's meant to be cropped, but the last time I wore it, like as a piece of clothing, I didn't love the length, and I didn't really know. I ideally wanted to go all the way back up to the pattern and lengthen the pattern down and then go into the ribbing, but I didn't want to undo all that ribbing, so I just put it back on my needles and did like another inch, maybe ½ inch of ribbing, and now it sits at a place that I'm comfortable with. Now, I love the way this looks. It looks like it fits me really nicely, and it does. It fits my body like a glove, but the way it feels is not my favorite. And the reason being, so up here, when I first went into the color work, that one first strand is really tight, so it kind of keeps the yoke squished in. Further down here, my gauge got looser and I got more comfortable with color work, and it loosened up a good bit, but it's still, I'm finding that I don't really love the way a yoked sweater lays unless it is oversized. I'm imagining. I don't have one like that, but I'm imagining that if it was oversized, it would feel nice. But with something, this has negative ease, or maybe it's right on 0. I forget what the pattern recommends, but it's supposed to be a tighter sweater, but it's just not comfortable, and like when I move too much, it will ride up and then the neck will kind of stand up, which is not what it's supposed to do. And I know my gauge was a little bit off because this was one of my first colorwork sweaters. I'm still not perfect with colorwork tensioning, but I've also read in the pattern projects that a lot of people had gauge problems with this sweater. Sorry, the I'm so sorry. But I did go up a needle size, and I went up 2 sizes in the pattern. I don't remember what size I knit, but it was 2 sizes bigger than my size. And I still ended up with something so small. Like my daughter can wear this and she's 4. It fits her like an oversized kind of t-shirt sweater, but it fits her. So that tells you just how much I have to squeeze into this. But I mean, it looks like it fits nicely. So it is wearable. It's not super comfy, especially for like around the house, because I'm always doing a lot, juggling a lot of things, and it's just not comfy to like move around in. But it's so cute that I wear it sometimes. And also, I guess you couldn't really see, but I have on orange pants, so the orange ties in really nice. And it was just so fall-y this morning, and I said, I'm wearing this sweater whether I like it or not. And I worked really hard on it, so I will get use out of it. I did enter this into our local fair a couple weeks ago, and I'm trying to remember. I think I got a 3rd place ribbon out of all of the needlecraft, or maybe it was all of the knitting, something like that. Got 3rd place. And if you follow me on Instagram, you will know that my Shawlography shawl got 1st place, and that was so exciting. I did not expect that. I mean, I didn't really know how our fair worked. I know some places, they kind of rate every individual item in its own, I don't know, just individually. And so they tell you if you either get 1st, 2nd, or 3rd, and everything gets a ribbon kind of thing. And that's how I thought ours was, but come to find out, they do it by category, and so all of my stuff was in the knit, or maybe it was just in the needlecraft category. And my shawl got first place, so I got a first place ribbon. Very, very exciting. When we went to go see what the verdict was, there was another lady there that I know who knits, and she was like, "You got first place!" And my husband said that my face was so red. I was just so like, I can't believe it. But very exciting. Anyways, enough about this, enough about the shawl. I have a finished object, which it was pretty close to being finished the last time I recorded, and it is my Pressed Flowers shawl. She is finally blocked, and I have already worn her a couple times. I wore it. I wore it when we went to the fair, and uh-oh, I got a piece that I forgot to trim. Actually, I don't know that I did trim any of the ends yet. I don't see them. They must have kind of tucked in whenever I blocked it. I did stretch it pretty good. I blocked it pretty aggressively because my gauge was really tight on this. She used much more yarn, the lady who designed this. Savory knitting, I want to say. So my gauge was a bit tighter, so I did pretty aggressively block it to get it to be the right size. So it is a good size now. I can, okay, got hung there. Wrap it like a scarf, and when I wore it to the fair, I wore it as a shawl. It is a little bit itchy because it is wool, but I'm never wearing it, you know, straight on skin, and it doesn't really bother my neck too bad. But yeah, I love this shawl. Very cute, cute, cute. I think this will be really nice in the spring, like coming out of winter into spring, because it's obviously, it's like pastel colors. So here, coming out of winter into spring can still be pretty chilly, so I'll get some wear out of this in the spring. Of course, I'm still gonna wear it in the fall and the winter, even though it's not color scheme appropriate, but I don't care. I wear all colors all year round. No problem with me. Okay, I need a sip of tea. While I'm here with this mug, I found this mug at a thrift store, and I know there has to be more like this. I would love to find some more. It's a old farmer's almanac, and it's got some nutmeg on it, and it tells you what it's good for. So nutmeg is good for headaches and eyesight, and oftentimes worn as a pendant to stop freckles and croup. Learned something new today. I don't know, I just think it's a very, very neat little mug. I would assume there are more with different herbs and things. Yeah, maybe I should look it up on Etsy. I bet I could probably find some. Sorry, I'm going on lots of tangents today. Okay, next I have, oh, I actually forgot to show you guys last episode my excavation blanket that I've been working on. I've been doing most mornings. I wake up early before the kids, and I'll make some coffee and have some breakfast, and I'll knit a row back and forth on this, so one color stripe. And the last time I showed you guys this, I was right there where the marker is at the bottom. It's kind of hard to let me stretch it out a little bit. Okay, so last time I showed you guys I was here, and that's my shawlography colors in there, and then all of the rest of the colors are left over from my mini skeins that I got from the Lonely Knitter that I made my stripy socks out of. Sorry, I thought I heard the door open. anyways, so this thing's moving quite consistently, I would say. It's gonna be a long time before this is finished. But I'm pretty much out of yarn for this at the moment. I have a couple tiny little scraps in here that will still be able to make stripes. But I did just order from the Lonely Knitter from her October, I think it's the October Scrappy Club. She does a theme every month, and I want to say it was The Haunting of Hill House for like Halloween, and my husband and I love that show. I'm usually not a big fan of like scary things, particularly things involving like demons and things like that. I'm not into that. But The Haunting of Hill House, we loved that show. And this is another tangent, I'm sorry. When we were watching that, it was during a time when there was a hurricane coming through our area. It wasn't a hurricane here, it was a tropical storm, but one of our really big trees on our property had fallen and taken down some power lines. It actually smushed my husband's truck, which is a funny story, which maybe I should just put a picture of his truck here for you guys to see because it's really funny. So the tree fell on his truck and we thought his truck was gone. And his truck is like a collector's, like it's an old truck. It's an 89 Jeep Comanche. They don't make them anymore. And we thought his truck was gone. We were so sad. And even the tires looked flat. We had my dad and a bunch of buddies come over and help cut the tree off of the truck. And as soon as the tree came off the truck, it just rose back up. And the only thing, now it looks like a tree fell on it, and we still haven't gotten it fixed because we haven't been able to find that kind of bed for his truck. So that's how he drives it, and he's like known around town as the guy with the dented Jeep truck. But it's so obvious that a tree fell on it. And even though it stinks that happened, his truck was parked next to our propane tank, and if it wouldn't have hit his truck, it would have hit the propane tank, and it took down some live wires with it. So it could have been a tragedy. It could have been terrible, but his truck saved us, and yeah, he still drives it around like that. And anyways, so that whole time we were out of power for like a week, and we had his dad's generator, like a little box generator, just that we could like plug our phones into and stuff. And that's how we would watch The Haunting of Hill House in our house, completely dark with candles, and The Haunting of Hill House on our tiny little phone. And we would just cuddle up and watch that in the evenings until our power came back on. So anyways, that was quite the tangent. So I ordered the Haunting of Hill House yarn, and I'm excited about that to make some more scrappy socks. And once I finish those, the leftovers will go into my excavation blanket. I really like this blanket because it is so wild, and I know that it's going to be, like right now, these are all very pastel-y colors, and then I'm going to be going into what I'm assuming is going to be like very moody, dark, Halloween-y kind of colors. So at the end of this blanket, in a couple years from now probably, it's going to be so crazy, and I love crazy colors. So I'm excited to see how it turns out. And also it's just going to be really cozy because it's just garter stitch, and we know how smushy and soft garter stitch is. So I'm excited about that. I just have it in this cute little basket. Okay, next I think I'll just stick with whips right now, and I'll just go through these kind of quick because we've seen them before. So this is I'm sitting right next to the trash can, and it stinks. So if I make a funny face, that's why. Okay, so my All Day Sweater by Lily Kate, France, is getting close to the finish line. I have finished the body, and I am now working on the sleeve. I only have about 3 more rows, I believe, until I do the pleat on the sleeve. very excited about this. I've tried it on. It's the perfect length. It's so cozy. This yarn, I talked about it last episode. It is so soft. The only thing I'm worried about with this sweater is my cat. Because she loves yarn, as cats do. And this one pills very easy because it's almost, I mean, it's very fuzzy. So it's easy for her to get her claws in there. So when I wear this, I don't really let her mess with it right now because it's put away. But when I'm wearing it, I'll have to be pretty careful that she's not acting crazy around me. Oh, and I'll show you guys, I went to Hobby Lobby a few weeks ago and I got some stuff to make some stitch markers, and this is one of them. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it to focus. But it's like a little glass ball. Well, it's plastic. Actually, that might be glass. I'm not sure. And there's like some little crystals in there with a tiny little rose floating around in there. Very cute. I have some more that I will show you guys too. Okay, so that's that. Making some progress. I'm excited to wear that one. I have a whole outfit in mind with that sweater, and I'm just dying to wear it. So hopefully by the end of next week, I will have that finished. Next is my husband's sweater, which we've all seen 100 times because I'm so slow with this. But I am working on the sleeve pretty diligently. This first sleeve is taking me a little while because I have to keep having him try it on because I don't know if I'm going to be able to do as many decreases as the pattern suggests because my husband has big arms. Big, strong, muscular arms. He'll get a kick out of that if he watches this. So yeah, I don't want to decrease too much and then have to go back. So about every 2 decrease rounds, I'm having him try it on to see. And I have a feeling that once we hit the elbow, we may just go straight down because his forearms are pretty big too. And I don't think he wants it like tight on his forearm. I think. We'll see. But once I get the first sleeve done, I'll have my notes to go back to do the second one, and there will be a lot less waiting and trying on, and the second sleeve should go much quicker. So his birthday is the beginning of November. Hopefully this will be finished for him by then, but I will not make promises with this sweater at least because I'm not loving it, if I'm being honest. But I love him, so I'm gonna keep on keeping on. Okay. Let's shove it back down in this bag. It's almost too big for this bag. Okay, that's all the whips. Now, I need another sip of tea. Every time I record, I'm afraid that you guys are gonna think that I'm just crazy and I'm just rambling and that I have there's no cohesiveness. And if that is true, I am sorry. This works about like my life does. It's a little all over the place, but we have a good time. Okay, so I have 2 new cast-ons, which I talked about in my last episode. I was showing you guys the yarn and I found patterns for said yarn. So the first one is, actually I talked about this pattern last time, and I'm almost positive that I butchered the name. This is the, let me find the first page. Okay, last time I called it Minuet. This is by Tricot Design. Marie-Christine Levesque, but it's very, I'm assuming that's a French word, so I'm gonna assume maybe it's pronounced Minuet, something like that. I'm not French, so, and I do not speak French. But this pattern is so stinking beautiful. I wasn't gonna cast this on yet because I need to finish other things, but I just couldn't help myself, and then once I got started, Actually, funny story. Once I got started, I did it so wrong and I was so confused that I took a break, but then I figured it out. So let me just show you where I'm at so far. Okay, this is how much I've got so far. It looks really tiny, but I used a lighter weight than suggested, and I am assuming I'll be able to stretch it pretty good when I block it. It'll be a little bit of a looser gauge, but I'm fine with that. I'm actually stopped in the middle of a row because I was just knitting on this in my intro at the beginning of this video. I filmed a new intro this morning and I was knitting on this and I just kind of stopped right in the middle. So yeah, this pattern is darling. I don't know if I'm gonna have enough yarn to do the full long sleeves, but I do know that I'll have enough to at least do about to where this goes. And if that is the case, I want to end them about maybe here actually, and put a little bit of like a ruffle at the bottom. I think that'd be really sweet. So yeah, this is coming along. So the construction of this is very interesting. It is seamless, and I almost don't even remember. Okay, yeah, so you start with this back piece, and I hope I'm allowed to, I don't think I'm giving much away by this, but you start knitting this back piece, and then you stop where your armholes begin, but then you come back and you pick up stitches on each side, and you knit that strip, and then you join them here. So when I was reading the pattern, I don't know what I was thinking, but I picked up stitches here in the middle, and I knit for a while, maybe like 2 inches, and then it was talking about armholes and how this was the upper back, and I was like trying to put it on me all of these different ways, and I was like, this is not, how is this working? And I thought, well, maybe I just need to knit more and then it'll make sense. So I kept going, but it just was not, it was not making sense to me. And then finally it was like a light bulb just went off, and I looked at the picture of like on the pattern, she has like a drawing or just like a graphic to explain where you were supposed to pick up stitches, and I was like, oh, how in the world did I not understand? It was so, I think what happened, it was so literal that I thought, that's too easy, she must have meant this. I don't know why I do that. But anyways, I got it figured out, and it's going pretty quickly, I think. Oh, it's so darling. I love it so much. Cannot wait to wear this. It's so sweet. Like I said, it looks really tiny, but my plan is to block it pretty aggressively. So yeah. Oh, I'll show you the stitch markers on here. I have 2 more of the ones that I made. I have 2 little ones that my sister-in-law bought for me. They are from the Great British Baking Show. One says Stiff Peaks with some little meringues, and then one of them is a mixer that says Ready, Set, Bake. And these are the ones that I made. Ooh. Okay, this one is a little cameo. Is that what those are called? That's what I've always called them, but I hear people use that word in other, you know what I mean. And then this little flower. I've always loved little like vintage cameos like this. I actually have a tattoo on my back, on the center of my back, center of my upper back, not like dead center, on the center of my upper back. And it is a little vintage cameo, and then in the middle it just says "Be kind." Yeah, it's a very cute little tattoo. But I've always loved those cameos. Very vintage. So yeah, that is this pattern. I'm very, very excited about this one. And honestly, I got a little nervous when I got to the charts, because you have 2 charts going at the same time, and I thought it was going to be difficult, but it is not. It is just fine. And I talked about this yarn last episode. I don't have the thing in here now, but I'm pretty sure it was like Cloudborne Fibers, something like that. It's discontinued, which is why I'm going to be playing a little bit of Yarn Chicken with this because I can't buy more. I did see that someone had some in stash on Ravelry, and I sent them a message asking if they would let me buy it from them, but I have not heard. So I think I'm going to have just enough. Like, it's going to be perfect, and it'll be a match made in heaven. So next new cast on is with the Malabrigo yarns that I showed. And I showed you guys a pattern that I thought I was dead set on for these yarns, but I changed it. So I forgot the name of the one that I showed you guys, but the one that I decided to go with is actually called Exordium. Here it is. This is a very popular shawl design. I've seen quite a few of them, and I really like this one because it has a solid yarn and then it also has a variegated yarn, and it looks to me like you use equal amounts of each, and so you get both of those colors all throughout the shawl, which is what I wanted. I didn't want anything that like once I put it on you were only going to see this color or that color, but this one seems to tie them together really nicely. So I have not been working on this a ton just because I have so many other things that I am dying to finish, but I got a good little start. Ooh, I love these colors. Oh, let me find my needle. Okay, so it's going pretty well so far. I love these colors together. Beautiful. I forgot the names of them. You guys, I'm sorry, I'm literally never prepared. But I talked about them last episode. Got the variegated and the solid. And I am using these recommended needle size. I did not check gauge because it's a shawl and I think it's probably fine. Yeah. I was having a lot of trouble for a little while in this section. I would get to a next row and realize that I didn't have the number of stitches I was supposed to have. Like, it would say, do this until the last stitch or the last 2 stitches, and I would get there and I would only have 1. So I was just kind of like making a new stitch to do the row correctly, but it was happening every few times, and then I finally realized I was forgetting to do a yarn over at the end of a repeat. Again, it was just me overcomplicating things, like I was reading it too intently and forgetting. I don't know. I finally figured it out, and I'm glad because there's a lot of this pattern throughout the whole shawl, so it would really be a shame if I couldn't figure it out and I was just like picking up random stitches all throughout the time. But I can't even see where I did that. I can't tell where I've picked up random stitches and where I've done it correctly, so I think it will be just fine. But yeah, I really like the fabric this is making. It's kind of a looser gauge, but I like that because it'll be very drapey. And the colors are just so pretty. So pretty. It kind of reminds me of like a mermaid tail right now. Okay. Now, I did fly through all of those, but my main reason for recording today was for the giveaway, so I have 2 more things to show you and then we'll get to that. So the last time I went thrifting, I found these cute little items that look to me to be handmade, and whoops, just broke one of them a little bit. And I thought that you guys might enjoy them too, so I'll show them to you. They are both cross stitch or embroidery, a mixture of the two. So first one is this little tiny wooden frame with, there's just some jars of, I'm gonna assume, jam on a shelf with a little plant. It actually looks a lot like that shelf over there that I have some stuff on. And it is cross stitch, you can see. And I just have this hanging above my stove. in that little area between the microwave and the stove. And I just think it's so cute. I love these little, just little knickknacks. I think this was like $1 at the thrift store. So how are you gonna pass that up? Now the back of it is very, okay, I am breaking it. The back of it is like a woven, it's probably just a piece of burlap that they cut, but it's kind of coming off, and there's just some masking tape back here. I would love to know who made this. And next is another cross stitch / embroidery piece that I have hanging on the side of my yarn cabinet over here. And it says, "We are his people and the sheep of his pasture." Psalm 103 with little sheep. The little sheep have beads, little beads for their face and their little feet. And I really like that they put this lace around the edges. It's so cute. So yeah, this hangs on the back side of my knitting cabinet. It's just a nice little reminder. Okay, so now we will get into the giveaway. So, as I said, we have reached 1,000 subscribers, which may seem small, but to me, it feels crazy, and I am just overwhelmed with gratitude. So, I wish that I could afford like some crazy nice yarn and like a big giveaway basket, but unfortunately that is not the case. But I did get this beautiful hank of yarn and another stitch marker that I made that I thought went well with it. So this is from Hobby Lobby. It's their Yarn Bee. I've never tried these hand dyeds before, but they are beautiful. And I did get one. It is superwash merino wool, and I believe this is a fingering weight. It does not say, it does say super fine, so I'm gonna say it's probably a fingering weight. And the color is just beautiful. It's a tonal, but you can see there's a lot of different colors going on in here. And so I thought this one was the most neutral while also still being interesting. I really like that color right there. So the winner will receive this yarn, and this is the little stitch marker that I made to go with it. It is a little bronze locket, and it actually does open. Okay, I say that and, well, I don't want to break it. Maybe it doesn't, but I did see another one at Hobby Lobby that did open, but maybe someone broke that one. So, I mean, it has a little hinge on the side, but I don't know, I don't want to break it. But I thought it paired nicely with this. So, if you would like to win this, all you have to do is leave a comment on this video, and I will do like a random comment picker. You do have to be subscribed because it is a subscriber celebration giveaway. And yeah, that's all you got to do. I would like to ask if you guys have any questions about me or my life, I guess. If you just have any questions, you want to get to know me, I want to get to know you guys. So if you have any questions, leave those in the comments, and I want to try and do next time to do a Q&A. Now that there's over 1,000 people here, I would like to share a little bit more about me so you guys feel like you know me, and I don't know how to just like sit here and ramble off things about myself. So if you guys have any questions, leave those down below in your comment, and I'll kind of make like a pile of questions to go through. And that's what my next, if there's enough questions, that's what my next episode will be, is just a Q&A, like a get to know me. Yeah, so that should be fun. Okay, I don't know what happened, but I went to edit my video, and the whole last 5 minutes, there was no sound at all. So what I was saying is next episode, we'll do like a little Q&A, and I will announce the winner of the giveaway. If I haven't already gotten in contact with you. I will probably just respond to your comment and tell you if you won, and then you can send me an email and we'll get that sorted out. And I will pick a winner on Wednesday, October 19th. I'm not sure what time, probably around lunchtime. Yeah, and I know I said a lot more because there was like 5 minutes of footage where it was blank. But I cannot for the life of me remember what all I was saying. So I hope there was nothing important. Yeah. I guess that's it. I hope you guys have a lovely fall and a lovely Halloween. I'm sure I will talk to you guys again before Thanksgiving. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe. And if you don't follow me on Instagram yet, I'm going to leave my username below so you can find me there. And yeah, that's all I got. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your week.